The best way to stimulate the economy is to give money to those on low incomes. Why? Because they spend it all and they spend it in their local communities.
More than 5 million Aussies can now expect new rates and rules to kick in for JobSeeker payments after the September deadline. Research from the Australia Institute suggests any change to the payments could affect their quality of life.
It's not just the individuals that are going to be hurt by this, by being pushed into poverty. It's also going to have an effect on the macroeconomy as a whole.
In March, the federal government responded to the coronavirus recession with a $550 a fortnight lifeline to Australia's most vulnerable.
We are providing support to the Australian worker like never before.
This graph shows the percentage that the payments are above or below the poverty line. The government's payment increase almost doubled the base rate of JobSeeker, formerly Newstart, from $565 per fortnight for singles to $1,115 per fortnight. Modelling in the report showed this single change lifted 425,000 Australians out of poverty.
It did more to reduce poverty in Australia than any other single piece of legislation.
Before the coronavirus supplement, there had been no increase in the real value of unemployment payments for 26 years. The previous payment of $40 a day had been slammed by critics for decades because of its inadequacy.
It is time to raise the rate. You want economic stimulus? Lift Newstart.
Since 1994, these payments have steadily dropped from just above the Henderson poverty line to well below.
And we know that poverty in particular has a big impact on children when they're developing. We know it impacts on their cognitive development, so they fall behind in school, and this will have a lifelong impact on them.
Including housing costs, the poverty line is just under $1,000 a week for a family with 2 adults, one of whom is working, and 2 dependent children.
It's just not an amount that is possible to live on.
The Prime Minister suggested that the original JobSeeker rate was stopping people from applying for work.
We can't allow the job seeker payment to become an impediment to people out and doing work, getting extra shifts.
But statistics suggest that rather than people knocking back work, there is simply not enough available.
There are 13 unemployed people for every job vacancy. So there's an enormous pool of labour looking for work right now.